Hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. On this occasion, I will share a few words which God has placed in my heart. This message is a message of hope and inspiration, and at the same time, it's a message to encourage you, especially in these difficult times that we're facing. The title of this message is, To Everything There's a Season, and a Time to Every Purpose Under the Heaven. These were the words of King Solomon. You'll be able to find these in Ecclesiastes 3, 1 through 8. I'll now proceed and read them through the Bible. There's an appointed time for everything, and there's a time for every event under heaven. A time to give birth and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to throw stones and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace and a time to shun embracing. A time to search and a time to give up as lost. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear apart and a time to sew together. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time for peace. Derived from the context, I would like to paraphrase in my own words what this message really means. To everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. This is the rebirth of a new generation. A generation that truly loves God with all their strength and hearts above all things. We're not frightened by the difficulties of this century. This generation is ready to get up and not drop under any circumstance. As difficult as it may seem, it is time to kill, yes, but kill the old man inside you. To kill the old self, the jealousy, the selfishness, envy, the gossip. Kill the spiritual lukewarmness. You're either for God or you're not. Because these are the habits of a simple person or an ignorant one. It is time to plant in fertile soil, the land that bears much fruit, fruit that matures and remains and is useful to the society. It is time to sow what we planted, to harvest what we have sown in tears over the last years, without anything or anyone taking it from us. It is time to kill the hunger in those who really need it, to kill and bury the wicked thoughts of evil intentions of the heart. It is time to cure the wounds, as deep as they may be, forgiving and forgetting those who have offended you, to heal the sick spiritually, heal the souls and spirits of those who do not take advantage of this time. This is the time to destroy falsehood and hypocrisy, to exterminate them until there's nothing left. Because if you don't destroy them, they will destroy you. It is time to build new dreams and new goals, to work on them to the point of exhaustion, believing in the support that God gives us, and to ask to see them come true today and for 1,000 more generations. It is time to cry, yes, cry, and cry a lot under the presence of God, knowing that none of our tears will fall to the ground and dry up, but instead they will fruit and germinate 101%, as if they were seeds when sown. It is time to laugh, to show happiness and our freedom, to know that all sadness has been left behind. It is time to move on and never give up. It is time to mourn for those who deserve honor. It is time to dance on top of the problems. It is time to spread stones, to put aside those people who do not build you up. Time to collect stones, to help build your own foundation and not stumble upon it. It is time to embrace the promise of God, to make them ours with faith and hope until they come true. This is the time to refrain from embracing and disbelief, lack of faith, but it is the perfect time to seek God now more than ever, to read His Word and pray and fulfill His call. This is the perfect will because it is what is best for humanity. It is time to lose religiosity, selfishness, ambition, hatred, misogyny, racism, inequality, sin itself in general. It is time to keep our hearts and tongues, and it's time to cast off everything bad and impure. It is time to break ties, chains of bitterness that enslave the soul. It is time to sow the broken hearts and minds. It is time to keep quiet because this is also called praise. And it's time to speak when necessary without fear of what people will say. Time to love, but not just ourselves, also God and our neighbor, as it was entrusted in us, because this is the fulfillment of all law and the prophets. It is time to hate evil, greed, division. It is time of war with our own self and with every argument of evil that wants to rise up against us and ours. In a time of peace with God, with ourselves, and with the rest of the world. But we must have the peace that only God knows how to give, because without it, we will not be able to achieve anything and we'll be like starting over. Thank you again for your attention, and may God bless you.